Hi everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I just wanted to start by saying Happy New Year, and even though I feel like I've said this for as long as I have literally existed, I actually just can't believe that it's 2024 already. Time is going so quickly, and I don't know about you guys, but for me 2022 felt like it was just dragging on and was like never going to end. And then 23 just went. I'm actually very excited for a clean slate, and I'm like ready to see what the new year brings. One of the things that I take pride in is being true to my word, and I know that on every social media platform that I literally exist on, from like Instagram to LinkedIn, I have expressed this like huge desire to create YouTube content or long form content outside of TikTok, because realistically, does anyone actually watch 10-minute TikToks? I feel like the fact that I openly joked about me only uploading or possibly only going to upload one YouTube video for the year actually was like a limiting belief that I manifested in myself, or manifested for myself by putting it out into the universe. I'm gonna be completely honest, right? I can't quite pinpoint why, but there's just something about producing content for YouTube that I find way more difficult than I do for any other social media platform. And I think it's because YouTube, or like my personal YouTube, kind of triggers this fear of failure in me that I haven't felt in such a long time. I mean, you wouldn't believe that I'd be scared to create YouTube content if you looked at like the Girls Know Nothing YouTube, or like the podcast Spotify, or if you'd ever watched me on any interview with any media platform ever. But there's this like weird thing about my personal YouTube that makes me hesitate, and I want to overcome that barrier this year. Like that's on the list of things I want to overcome. I think it's because I used to believe that content had to be like 100% perfect before putting it out there, and I know that there are a lot of really big content creators that say they don't like to put things out there unless they're perfect, which I guess would make sense if you've been doing YouTube content for a longer period of time, or like, you know, you've got such a big cult following and really high expectations. I can understand like that fear then, but I literally have like 700 subscribers and I've uploaded the best part of like 8 videos. So that shouldn't be a thing for me. My most recent episode of Girls Know Nothing, I literally sat there and spoke about how we started the podcast by recording it on an iPhone in an old office, and how now it's gone to a full production team, 3 cameras, audio, editors, and in the last 30 days, like YouTube alone had been accessed by over 15 countries. I'm not even taking like my own advice when I turn around to people and say that the only thing they should do when like encouraging people to pursue their passions is just to go for it. I considered delaying making this video again because I was sat on my sofa a couple of days ago, you know how everyone is between Christmas and New Year in that weird time black hole period, doing an Instagram Q&A, and I had so many people ask me what my New Year's resolutions were, how I plan my goals for the up and coming year ahead. I wanted to make this YouTube video as a visual thing, and I would show you the board and how I plan my year ahead visually, and things haven't arrived while I'm making this video, and if I don't make this video now, I miss like that opportune window to just do it, and then I kind of already start the year on a bad foot by not just doing things, contradicting everything I've just said. If you guys want to see like the finished product of how I like create my vision board, and how I've created my vision board for the last, this will be like the 4th one I've created, then I will make another YouTube video and like show it to you guys and explain it. When it comes to answering how I plan my New Year's resolutions, what my New Year's resolutions are, I think actually maybe a lot of people are going to be surprised when I say that I hate New Year's resolutions. There are going to be so many content creators out there, or like people are going to be inundated with content about, you know, how not to fail, about being disciplined and all these things. And like, yes, that is true to an extent, and you know, I can't sit there and say that, oh, I don't take that advice, because to an extent I'm also a very disciplined person. I just don't like New Year's resolutions because I think they set a really dangerous and unrealistic expectation of what is achievable for a single human being in a year. I think they're unrealistic because I don't think they're well thought out. I don't think that they tackle the root cause as to why you think you need to achieve something. Like, you know, a lot of people, for example, when it comes to the new year, decide that they want to go on a health kick and lose X amount of weight, which, if that is your goal, it's personal to you. Nobody can tell you whether it's good or bad, but you're not, I don't think that by waking up on January the 1st and saying I'm going to lose X amount of weight, you're tackling the reason why you want to lose X amount of weight. You start your New Year's resolution on the 1st of January and then say the 7th of January you've eaten a chocolate biscuit and you've not eaten your salad, or like you decided to go out for dinner, you feel like you've ruined the year already and the year's like just trashed. And then, sorry, that is my dog, if you can hear any snoring, snorting or barking, that is Vienna. Yeah, like that's not the case. Like if you just don't do one thing for one day, it's literally not the end of the world. With New Year's resolutions, you know, we set really, really big goals, and I don't think that's wrong either. You know, one thing that one of my teachers at school used to say is you should, if you aim for the stars, if you aim for the moon, or if you aim for the stars, you'll land along the moon, or something rubbish like that. Like, I get it, if you aim high, even if you don't reach it, you'll come close. But I feel like at the end of the year, if we don't achieve those big ticket things, you kind of sit there and you feel like you've not achieved anything, and then you feel bad about yourself. But it's not true. Like, you haven't achieved nothing. When I came to that realization, I started planning for the year ahead differently. What I do and have done since 2020 is I set myself 10 things that I want to achieve, or like an event or a development skill, just something. 10. I don't do more than 10 because I feel like if you do that with the way that I structure these 10, you're gonna probably overwhelm yourself, not create healthy habits, and they're not going to be sustainable. So then when you fall off the wagon, you feel worse about yourself than just being like, I'm human, I've made a mistake, tomorrow's a new day, let's start again. This was on my 2021 mood board, like vision board. And I kind of guess this is what happens when you're non-specific about your plans and what you want to achieve. But I put on my 2021 vision board, love. I just put love. And I think when I was putting that down, I was like, I want to meet the love of my life. Like, I want to settle down, I want to meet the person I'm going to be with. But I wasn't specific about that, and I wasn't specific about how I was going to go about that. So apart from being outside of dating apps and literally forcing yourself into what I consider very uncomfortable situations, I don't actually know how you would go about achieving that. 2021 ended up being the year that I went on to Love Island. And even though I didn't meet my soulmate or have a romantic partner in there, I did get love. Very Marmitey love-hate, but I did get a lot of love from people who watched the show, and I gained a new female friendship group that was like really strong and really loving, and has been a huge anchor of support for me for the last 2 years. Then like I got this new self-love. Like it was like holding up a mirror to myself and being like, is this exactly what I want? Am I going in the right direction for how I see my future? And I wasn't, because I just, not that I was insecure, but I just didn't love myself the same way that I should do, because I was more interested in making other people happy or make other people like me than me liking myself. But you should be more specific about what you want to achieve and how you want to achieve them and why you want to achieve them. I hate coming back to like weight loss as a thing, because I don't think it's the be all and end all. I don't think it should be the only thing that defines you, but I just know that a lot of people will put weight loss or like new healthy habits on their New Year's resolutions list. I always think it's the one that people are most likely to fail in because they make themselves, they set really unrealistic targets and they force themselves to do things that they don't like doing. Therefore, they're not sustainable and you're not going to be able to achieve your goals. I think it's the easiest example to talk about. So please don't hate me for like talking about this as an example. Oh my God, I almost fell off my chair then. I don't know how I set my office chair to like lean back. Okay, well, let's not do that. That's really embarrassing. On my 2023 vision board, I did put, not weight loss, I put like a new health regime on there because I entered the London Marathon. And actually, I've also, I'm gonna fall off this chair, aren't I? I put that I'm gonna run the Paris Marathon in 2024. So actually, health and fitness is on my 2024 vision board, and it was on my 2023 vision board as well. If I can say that again without tripping over my own tongue. Just wake up one day and say like, I'm just gonna start running 10K 5-6 days a week. That's unsustainable. And I'm not gonna just wake up and just go from eating, overindulging over the festive period to just eating green salad. Also massively unsustainable. And you know, if you have a menstrual cycle, not going to be sustainable at all because you need to take into consideration your hormones, how your menstrual cycle impacts your health, your fitness, your cravings, your need to increase your calorie intake, all these things. And I'm not even a nutritionist, so I can't even go in depth or like of how to like be able to deal with all these things. Adopting an unsustainable gym routine on the 1st of January and then a really abrupt diet change and not actually looking at your long-term habits is the reason why people fall off that health bandwagon so quickly. I did go through a weight loss journey of some sort during lockdown because I realised that my habits were really unhealthy. I focused on small, achievable commitments. On my health and fitness journey card, on the back of it, I put things like making sure that I walk 10,000 steps a day. Because, you know, even if you're not up to exercising, walking is good for your mental health as well as your physical health. So I put that as my thing, and I, you know, can track it on my Apple Watch. I put things like, you know, changing full sugar Coca-Cola to Coke Zero because I know that I am a Coca-Cola addict. I was about to say a Coke addict, then I realised I might become a Rishi Sunak meme. But like small sustainable changes, they look like they're not going to be big or effective, but actually when you accumulate those small changes, they are offering more realistic, long-lasting and successful changes, even if the results aren't immediate. Just didn't run the London Marathon and then all of a sudden stop and decide to just go back to all my old habits. Like, running has now been a long-term part of my routine and regime, and what I've learned about my nutrition and what my body needs at certain parts of my menstrual cycle from that training into the rest of the year. So it didn't just stop on the 25th of April whenever I ran it. Now that I've sat here and made this video and actually spoke about how I do my New Year's resolutions or New Year's plans, I realise it makes no sense without actually you guys being able to physically see the goals I want to achieve or the goals that I've decided I wanted to set myself for 2024. So if anyone actually watched this, and I didn't anticipate anyone to watch this, I just wanted to do it so I can get myself into the habit of making personal YouTube content. If you've watched it and you want to see my vision board, leave a comment, let me know if there is a goal that you want to achieve but you don't know how to break it down, and I can actually sit there and talk through an example of if it was my goal, how I'd break it down, how I'd go about it. Even though this has not been the best or the most perfect content I will ever put out there, I want you guys to use this as an example of just going for it, and even if it's not perfect, learning from it later. I know that you're going to be inundated with lots of New Year's resolutions. Let's go get this, like, let's go in hard. And like, yes, 2024 will be the most successful, the most fruitful, the most authentically you year to have ever come about, and I want nothing more for myself, my friends, my family, and for every single person in this world. Like, let's remember that we're human. We have to make those small changes to be able to get to those big goals, and to not beat yourself up if it doesn't go right straight away. the beauty is getting up and trying again, and that's how you build your strength and your resilience. I'm actually just got very sweaty palms just sitting here and talking about stuff to a camera, which sounds ridiculous considering I've stood up and done talks and speeches in front of hundreds, thousands of people. I'm gonna end this video now super quickly while I can still semi-think between her barking. I can't wait to hopefully see you in the next video. Fingers crossed.